Hi guys, my name is Casey Crane and I'm a copywriter and content manager here at Bluleadz. Today I'm going to be showing you how to optimize a blog in HubSpot. First thing that we're going to want to do is open up our HubSpot window, go up to Content, and select Blog. This will take us to our list of blogs. Now it's important that if you guys also have a case studies page or an area for press releases, make sure to go through the drop-down menu here and actually be sure to select your blog. So in order to create a new blog, what you'd want to do is go up to the top right corner here and select Create Blog Post. In this case, we already have a window open, so I'm just going to toggle on over to that. And this essentially is kind of how it will look. You've got your header here for your headline, your featured image will go in this spot, and then your main body content will go in here. It's important to note as well on this website that your appearance will actually differ depending on your blog template. So it may look a little different depending on how your company has everything set up. So in order to add your blog body content, what you're going to want to go to is your Word document or your Google Doc where you've got your content stored. And we're just going to go ahead and highlight this information, copy it, and we're going to paste it in here. And the template typically will go ahead and auto adjust to make sure that you're using the appropriate typeface, font settings, colors, different things like that. So once you've gone ahead and actually added in your body content, something that you'll want to be sure to do is go through and actually click on each individual link. This pop-up menu has an options tab that you can click, and what you'd want to do is if this is an internal link to your website, you want to be sure to select the use relative link option. If this is an internal or an external website, always be sure to select the open link in a new window button. The reason for this is that you want the user on the website to go ahead and open up any new windows or open up any links in new windows so that it's not driving traffic away from your original post or your page. Once you've done that, select the update link, and we're just going to go through and do this quickly for each of these different links. It's a good idea to have a mix of internal and external links for a blog post. The reason being, your internal links, if you're linking to some of your previous blog posts or perhaps the services page, you're kind of cross-pollinating in a sense. And this is beneficial to your blog because it helps to drive some traffic to your other posts, perhaps evergreen posts that have done well in the past. And if you're linking to external links, this is good because you want to use reputable sources. So this could be a news website, a popular organization, a tech magazine, different things like that depending on your content. But it's important to link to these page authorities to help establish your own page authority and search ranking. This is important for any search engine optimization. I think I've got just about all of these links clicked. Sorry, there were quite a few to add in this particular case. So now we can go ahead and go back up to the top. And in this particular case, we're going to swing over to the settings tab, which is the second tab here. If you have not already added a headline, you can go ahead and add it in here. Otherwise, if you're actually going from another service and just transporting content from another provider, it may auto-populate for you, just depending on what you're doing. Something that you're going to want to do also is go to the author section. In this case, it already has me pre-selected, but if this isn't you, what you'd want to do is make sure to select the appropriate person. Next, you'll want to go to the tags section, and in this case, we're going to be adding a couple tags. And this is basically kind of just letting people know, in general, what these topics, what the blog topic is about. Next, you'd want to go in and add a meta description. In HubSpot, Currently, the setting will allow you to add a maximum of 160 characters. The purpose of your meta description is kind of ultimately a summary. So when you go to the Google search engine, for example, and you type in your search, you're going to have the headline of the website pop up, and beneath that it'll have that summary information. Essentially, this is what that meta description is, and it serves the purpose of letting people know what it is that they're going to be getting out of reading your website or your blog post. Next, you'd want to go ahead and select the campaign, which in this case is going to be our ultimate blogging checklist for Bluleadz. The featured image, as mentioned previously, is going to be, in this particular case for our template, the image that appears here in the header section. So we're going to go ahead and add in our featured image. And then we're going to swing back over to the main body. Alright, so if you're interested in incorporating an image or perhaps a GIF file, one of those animated images, you can certainly do that in your blog. What you want to do is go ahead and scroll down to the section where you want to add these features. And in this particular case, using this toolkit here, we're going to go ahead and select the Insert Edit Image. Waiting for HubSpot to go ahead and load. It's a little bit slow. And normally you can go ahead and pick your image that you want to insert. In this particular case, we're using something from Giphy. So what we're going to do here is go to the Source Code tab. Select that, and we're going to want to go ahead and scroll down and find a section. So this is going to be in section 4 for this particular blog. Alright, so in this particular case, we're going to go ahead and insert this in to replace this text here. It's okay to go ahead and leave the P tags. It'll leave basically that paragraph spacing intact that I want to keep there. When I'm finished copying and pasting that content, we're going to go ahead and select Save Changes. And while it's not displaying here, it will actually go ahead and display that GIF image in the preview window that I'll pull up here in just a minute. We're going to have a second image that we want to go ahead and add, and we're going to put that in here. And this is going to be something that I do go ahead and actually use that Insert Edit Image tab. So if this is an image that you've used in recently, you can actually go ahead and select this clock tab, and that'll bring up your most recent images. Otherwise, you can go ahead and actually view files and folders in a list or in a grid format. So in this particular case, it's a recent file, so I will go ahead and select that. You can change any settings or edit the images using the Clone and Edit feature. In this particular case, it's already sized appropriately, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the image as is. Once this has been inserted, you can actually see it because it is a standard graphic image. It's a JPEG, unlike the GIF file that displays kind of looking like this. The next thing that we're going to do is continue optimizing the content. So in this particular case, what you'd want to do is select the Optimize tab, and it's going to have this drop down that pops up. And this is where you can actually add in some particular keywords. For example, we're going to want to use the keyword blogging. Additionally, we can also use blogging tips. If this is a keyword that has been incorporated into the body of your blog, you can go ahead and add that. Perhaps even how to write a blog. What you're going to want to do though is be sure to use keywords that have good click-through rates, high searches, or if you're trying to find a more specific audience, perhaps you want actually lower numbers of searches. Either way, we'll go ahead and add this particular keyword in. Since it's also talking about inbound marketing in this particular blog, we'll actually add that keyword in as well. And that'll be our final keyword just for this example. So it's important to note that in this particular case with the blog, I did not use the keyword blogging tips. So with HubSpot, it's wonderful because it actually lets you know that, hey, this keyword is missing. So you can go ahead and then add it into the body of your blog. Or if you think, this really doesn't fit, just go ahead and remove it. But ultimately, HubSpot shows you how to properly optimize your blog. It shows you kind of what's left to do versus what has actually been done. So everything that's got that green dot means it's successfully done, whereas the yellow dot means it still needs to be done. So in this case, it's okay that blogging is repeated more than 5 times because that's what this particular blog's about, so we won't worry about that. However, it does tell us that we still need to add a call to action. Ultimately, a CTA is what you want to drive users to. You want to have some sort of an action or something for them to do. In this particular case, we want to have them actually download our blogging checklist. So in our menu, we want to go ahead and select the call to action here, the CTA, and search for your CTA. So it's going to be Ultimate Blogging Checklist. And we're going to use, in this particular case, one of our smart CTAs. All right, so what you want to do is go ahead and select it and insert your CTA. Scrolling back up, you just want to go ahead and go through and make sure you're not missing anything from your settings tab. We have our headline, our URL is here, and that's been incorporated. If for some reason this info doesn't auto-populate, you can actually go ahead and type your own keyword in. Just be sure to add the hyphens so that you don't have spaces in your URL. Otherwise, the page will not load. Okay, so we have all this information. We have our featured image. We have our body images. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is check to make sure it's saved. Just because I'm a little paranoid, I always hit save just in case. And now we're going to go ahead and go to our preview. So over here on the left-hand side, you've got your menu, and it drops down, and this is where you can actually go to a preview window. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So here on the preview page, what you're going to want to do is make sure that everything just looks okay. Make sure your headline looks good, that your body content looks good. Make sure, for example, the Giphy file is loaded. Make sure your images are displaying. And something else you also can do is go through your blog and check your links. So in this particular case, when I put my mouse over it, you can see in the bottom left-hand area of the website, when I put my cursor back over it, you will have the URL here appear. So you can actually just go through and make sure that your links are loading. Once that's done and you are happy with how everything looks, you've got your CTA at the bottom, everything's displaying properly, go back to your blog edit window in HubSpot, and you can either hit update if this is currently a live blog, or you can select publish or schedule if you're wanting to schedule a blog to post in the future but not at this exact moment. So essentially that's it, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here with me. I'm excited that you want to learn how to optimize your blog and ultimately have a more successful blog. This will help with your marketing efforts and to better promote your brand.